What is up guys, Deadset here. Today we'll talk about my favorite Demon Hunter playstyle, the Natalya Reign of Vengeance build. Check it out. The build relies on periodic bursts of damage, aiming to open and close fights with as many Reign of Vengeance casts as it can. To reset the timer of this otherwise 15-second cooldown, you will be holding down Strafe, whose channeling nature procs the 2-piece bonus of Natalya consistently. To prevent your hatred from running out, weave regular evasive fire casts into your rotation. Its strong regeneration effect will stabilize your resources. When facing substantial packs of trash enemies or elites, you can briefly increase your damage by using your Wolf Companion cooldown. Smokescreen stands as your only but powerful line of protection, and its significant discipline cost will be covered by preparation. This is the build used in the demonstration. Reign of Vengeance is the primary damage dealer of the build. The Natalya set 2-piece bonus lowers the significant cooldown of this skill by 2 seconds when you hit an enemy with a hatred generating or hatred spending attack, allowing you to chain cast Reign of Vengeance in the thick of battle. Using it will also trigger the damage effect of the Crashing Rain Belt, producing the signature burst of the build. The rune of choice for soloing is Stampede, whose knockback property procs your strong arm bracers and allows you to keep enemies at bay, molding fights to your advantage. To reset the centerpiece of the build, we will be using Strafe, a skill that long struggled for viability. It fits snugly into the Natalya mechanics by allowing you mobility and fast resets, coming from the constant damage ticks inherent to its channeled nature. The rune of choice is the elementally synergistic Rocket Storm, whose additional rockets assist the cooldown resets. While you will reduce its price through gear, Strafe will steadily deplete your hatred. To stabilize your resources, use Evasive Fire with the strongest rune for hatred restoration, Focus. Doing away with the annoying backflip of other Evasive Fire runes, it does not disrupt the flow of Strafe movement. While it may take some time getting used to, alternating a few seconds of channeling with a cast of Evasive Fire is the best way to keep hatred up and maintain the focus and restraint set bonus. The Swiss Knife Companion skill takes on a role of a damage buff by taking the Wolf Companion rune, providing you with a high uptime 30% damage increase. Pop this cooldown liberally, as the cooldown reduction stacked on gear and the generous 10-second duration of the buff itself will guarantee the Wolf Companion is up for every significant fight. The very embodiment of Glass Cannon, the Demon Hunter usually adopts at least one protective mobility skill. The Natalya build is no exception, incorporating the disappearance mechanic of Smokescreen to synergize with Strafe, as it does not disrupt the channeling. To double up as a movement tool, take the Displacement rune. It will allow you to move fast between fights, outrange enemy affixes, or even skip unfavorable packs, for example, ones with reflect damage. The higher the greater rift you attempt, the more Smokescreen will be spammed in an effort to keep you alive. To help pay for the significant discipline spending, we will be using Preparation. While cooldown reduction will be abundant on gear, the base 45-second cooldown of Preparation cannot be ignored. So to gain the most resources per cast, take the Restoration over Time rune, Focused Mind. This concludes the overview of the active skills. Now let us look through the passives. Ambush complements the burst-oriented nature of the build, front-loading your damage potential against newly encountered enemies. The multiplicative nature of this passive sweetens the 40% damage increase offered and leads to the unrivaled performance of Natalya against trash packs. Steady Aim is one of the better pure damage passives at the disposal of Demon Hunters, offering a 20% additive damage bonus as long as you maintain the small radius requirement of 10 yards. Steady Aim makes for a more consistent companion to conditional modifiers like Ambush and Cool the Weak. Cool the Weak completes the offensive trio of passives, amplifying your damage against slowed or chilled enemies by 20%. This potent multiplicative passive gets triggered by the Intimidate slows from your Templar companion along with the secondary stats on your gear. Finally, Awareness will be used as a last line of defense in the paper-thin protection of the Demon Hunter. It is a cheat death on a decent 60-second cooldown, coupled with a brief window of safety and life regeneration when triggered, and you'll find yourself thankful you picked it up the higher you try to climb in greater rifts. One more passive worth mentioning is Single Out, a helpful addition in prolonged single-target fights, of which you encounter plenty at the end of every greater rift, This is your recommended 5th if you manage to obtain a well-rolled Hellfire Amulet. That about covers it for the build. Now let us go over the items. The build takes advantage of the full Natalya set bonuses, taking 6 of the available 7 pieces and opening up the jewelry slots for the damage multiplication of the Bastions of Will set. Rolls-wise, this cooldown based playstyle makes good use of cooldown reduction across gear. Sought after on the Natalya gloves, cooldown reduction is taken as the 4th primary stat alongside dexterity, crit chance and crit damage. Rain of Vengeance percentage bonus is taken on the Natalya chest, ideally accompanied by hatred regeneration. The Natalya pants are dedicated purely to toughness, and the ideal roll would include slow percentage in the secondary stats. The Natalya helm and boots can roll strafe percentage bonus, and while this skill is primarily used as a reset tool for Rain of Vengeance, the damage will add up. As such, rolling for strafe percentage is up to personal preference. As a final note, the desired stats on the Natalya weapon are high damage range, dexterity, damage percentage, and cooldown reduction, along with as high of a natural Rain of Vengeance percentage as you can find. There are 2 viable companions to the Natalya weapon, the one-handed crossbow's Balefire Caster and Calamity. The former offers synergistic elemental damage bonuses and is prioritized as stronger for the build, while the latter can be used for more Natalya build variations like cold or physical. Regardless of which you obtain, cooldown reduction is once again a highly desired primary stat. It is important to equip your higher damage crossbow as your main hand, as Rain of Vengeance only takes the main hand into account for its damage calculation. As such, the offhand will be a pure stat stick, where you can even roll the damage range away in favor of other helpful primary stats like cooldown reduction, resource cost reduction, or elite damage percentage. Crashing Rain is the mandatory choice for the belt slot, as its unique power, which is tied to Rain of Vengeance activation, produces a significant portion of your burst. With the property ranging from 3000 to 4000%, it is important to try and obtain as high of a percentage as you can. In the ideal case, a freeze percentage roll will also be present in the secondary stats. Not skipping on any of the pieces required to obtain the 6th set bonus, of course without the Natalya ring, allows you to use a powerful offensive combo in the jewelry, the Bastions of Will set, Focus and Restraint. These rings offer a whopping 2.25 independent damage multiplier as long as you alternate between a primary and a spender attack, which incidentally mirrors the exact tactic of the build. Aim for cooldown reduction, crit chance, crit damage, and an open socket. To complete the jewelry, you have a number of options for the amulet slot. The 2 that come with the highest recommendation are a Hellfire Amulet with one of the aforementioned passives, or an S of Johann, whose monster grouping utility synergizes with the Rain of Vengeance AoE. Double crit stats, an open socket, and either elemental percentage or dexterity are the desired rolls for the slot. Fitting the knockback nature of the build, the strong arm bracers will be procced constantly by Stampede and add nicely to your damage. The ideal rolls are dexterity, crit chance, fire elemental damage, and as close to the 30% knockback damage maximum as you can get. The shoulder slot lacks a necessary legendary or a set piece, and is free for experimentation as you see fit. You can add a bonus damage source on top by including the freshly buffed Deathwatch Mantle. Alternatively, take another cheat death, however unreliable, with slow proc rate from the Pauldrons of the Skeleton King, found in Act 1 bounty caches. Whatever your choice is, aim to roll cooldown reduction, resource cost reduction, and Rain of Vengeance percentage. Your 3 jewelry sockets will be taken up by the legendary gems Bane of the Trapped, Zeiss Stone of Vengeance, and Gold of Swiftness. The first 2 are extremely powerful as they are their own multipliers in your total damage calculation. Gold of Swiftness is a synergistic 3rd choice for your last jewelry slot, indirectly providing you with more damage. While this guide will not delve into the specifics of breakpoint chasing, it is important to remember that Natalya build resets cooldowns through strafe, and its damage ticks will affect the speed at which you reset Rain of Vengeance. Reaching 1.9 attack speed and 53.5 cooldown reduction in your sheet before Gogok stacks will result in the optimal 2 evasive fires to 1 Rain of Vengeance ratio. This gem is an easy source of another 15% attack speed and cooldown reduction, with your constant strafe channeling easily keeping the stacks capped to reach the 2.14 attack speed breakpoint. In the Paragon points, max out movement speed and then dexterity in the core section. You can also dabble into maximum hatred, allowing for some additional channeling time. Prioritize cooldown reduction and then both crit stats in the offense section. Resist all, life percentage and then armor in defense. And resource cost reduction, area damage and then life on hit in utility. And this is it for the Natalya Demon Hunter build. I hope you enjoyed the guide, and if you did, I would appreciate your subscription to my channel. See me live at twitch.tv/thedeadset, talk to me on Twitter and Facebook that I link below, and I'll see you guys next time.